This is Ben Ingram from the Atlanta Braves Radio Network, and it's time to go riding with the Braves, presented by Chevrolet. Let's see who else is joining us today. Riding with the Braves, and Jared Kelenic joining us, brand new Braves. Good to have you here, man.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Thanks for riding with us. In the Chevy Colorado today, I had to look this up. The official color of this thing, they said, is nitro yellow, which looks pretty quick. So it's a nice truck. The AC works, and we're happy in it. Nice
yeah,
truck.
The screen's nice and big.
Yeah, good display. Well, man, this is exciting. This is your first year in the Braves organization, but not the first time you've been traded. You were a first-round pick of the Mets, so being traded here, this isn't the first time that you went from one team to another. So you're, I guess, to this point, kind of used to moving from one team to another.
It's been kind of a whirlwind the last few years, but I definitely happy to be here. Clubhouse here has been incredible. The staff has been great. The front office has been great, and I'm just looking forward to going to war with these guys, and for this city. Really, it's an exciting time for a Braves not only player but fan as well.
Yeah, and it's a good group to go to war with too. And it hasn't taken you long to figure that out, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of horses in this lineup.
It's a fun lineup to watch. A lineup that put up a bunch of numbers last year and hit a bunch of home runs. And when you get to jump into a lineup like that, that's got to be a lot of fun, just knowing what's around you and what this lineup is capable of, especially adding you into it now.
No doubt. I think too, you're going to be able to learn a lot from the guys throughout the course of the season. There's just so many good players up and down the lineup that you're going to be able to pick their brains and understand how they do things and watch them on a day-to-day. That's one of the things I'm really looking forward to.
Who have you enjoyed being around and just kind of gaining some wisdom from?
Yeah, Matt Olson's one of a kind. Austin Riley's been incredible. Acuna's been awesome to watch. That man, he's out there just crushing balls. He's fun to watch. Like, the way he goes about his business and the way he plays the game is something that I feel really lucky to be out there and see it on a day-to-day.
And I'd imagine too, I would think about you sitting out there in the outfield and looking to your left and seeing Harry and seeing Ronald. What an outfield you guys are going to have this year.
I know. It's and really good, like, just genuine humans, out there that the chemistry already, I feel like, is super, super high, and we're in such a great spot. And I feel like Mike's done such an amazing job making me feel welcome, because him and I are going to be out there running, the left side of the outfield, and and he's been really he's been awesome.
And that's important, isn't it? You think about coming to a new team, new city, new everything, and it's good to have guys to welcome you in.
No doubt. I think that the chemistry is something that you pick up on right when you come into the clubhouse, that everyone kind of clicks, and everybody is super kind and super motivated, they all pay attention to detail, and they do the little things right, and I think that's what makes a really good team.
Yeah, that's a great point. I've heard it said so many times, and I know you can tell us about this. When guys get traded, a lot of times guys welcome the kind of the fresh start, brand new room, brand new teammates, brand new everything. Do you feel some of that coming to Atlanta?
Yeah, no doubt. I'm really looking forward to a fresh start and be able to really focus in on winning a World Series with this team. This team that I'm on has a real chance to do something special, and I'm really looking forward to being one of the soldiers to help make that happen.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Let's get to know you a little bit, because you come over and it's your first year here. Let me ask you this first and foremost. How many different pronunciations of your name have you ever heard?
Oh, I've heard everything, man. I've seen it spelt so many different ways. I've heard it said so many different ways, but the way that you say it's just 2 syllables, just Kelenic.
Pretty easy, right?
Kelenic.
People make it way more complicated.
Yep.
And you're from Wisconsin.
Yep.
And outside of baseball, what are some of your favorite hobbies?
Yeah, I'm a huge outdoorsman. I love to hunt.
Some big deer in Wisconsin.
Yep, monster deer. I spend the whole off season deer hunting and hunting ducks and geese and stuff like that. But I like to golf, I like to fish, I like to just be outside. That's like, I feel, we're inside so much, and 20 20 really, forced everybody to kind of be inside, but gave people the opportunity to, go on walks. And
Right.
that was something that I really took advantage of. And to really, like, be outside is something that I value and I love.
Growing up in Wisconsin, was it all baseball or did you play anything else?
I played basketball. I played football a little bit. But baseball was very time consuming. So once I got in high school, it kind of became just a all year round thing.
Which was probably challenging in Wisconsin. I mean, there's tons of winter sports there, and
No doubt.
it takes a second for the weather to warm up to play some
Yeah.
baseball.
Yeah, it does. So we did a lot of indoor stuff. Have a few facilities back home in Wisconsin where, we'd play games inside because it would be so cold.
And what was the name of your hometown?
Waukesha.
And how far is that from Milwaukee?
It's about 20 minutes.
Okay. So did you grow up going to Brewers games?
Yep. Yep. Big Brewer fan. Yeah. Still, a couple of my buddies still are playing on the Brewers, so I always keep up with them. And
Yeah.
I've always kept up with them.
Who did you enjoy watching when you were growing up?
Well, it was Prince Fielder and Ryan Braun. That duo was pretty good.
Yeah.
And they had some pretty good years when I was younger. So I got pretty lucky to watch that.
Yeah, definitely. Packers?
Packers, yep, Packers all the way.
And I'm guessing you've been to Lambeau a few times.
Never,
Never been?
never been to an NFL football game.
No way.
Swear. Yep,
See, that place looks like the place. If you're going to go to a game,
that's it. Yep, the
Lambeau's the
atmosphere
place.
there is incredible, and yeah, that's crazy. I've never been to an NFL football game. I've only been to college. The Wisconsin Badgers. That atmosphere is something special.
I've heard that place is great. Great
Crazy.
town.
Crazy, crazy. It's super fun. And then, I've been offered to go to a couple of NFL football games, but I just never have.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I want to go to one, I want to go to one at Lambeau when it's like cold.
Yeah. The full experience.
Have to.
Yeah. Tailgate.
Yep.
Man, that'd be a great day. Definitely better pack a jacket.
Yeah.
Thinking about that area of the country, and it's always gorgeous anytime I go up there. I love when we get to go up to that part of the country in the summertime. Beautiful summers
Oh yeah.
up there. When you were coming up and you're drafted out of high school, if you went to college, would you have gone to Wisconsin or were there other schools?
No,
you were
they
leaning
didn't. They
towards?
didn't have they don't have a baseball team.
Really?
Yeah, they're the only Big Ten team that doesn't have one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if they had a team, for sure, I would have loved to go there. But
Mhm.
I was actually committed to Louisville. I committed there fairly young, and yeah, that's where I was gonna go play.
Very cool. And then professional ball came calling, and you're a first round pick, so that made the decision pretty easy, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it did.
Got the career going, and to this point in your career, you're what, 24 years old, right?
hmm
I mean, I think sometimes when you get to 23, 24 years old and you've been around a while, people forget how young that actually is. And this is a hard game to be really good at, and it's a hard game to be consistent at. And you get to the point now where you're seeing 21 and 22-year-olds in the big leagues regularly, and you're one of those guys. How challenging is that when you're early 20s, you're coming to the big leagues and trying to figure everything out?
It's really challenging to at first to navigate all the distractions that come along with it.
Mhm.
Just because you're on a national stage and there's a lot of things that you just are. It's tough to be prepared for when it comes to like all the media stuff and the traveling and just the competition in general. Like there's a lot of things that can be distractions from you focusing on doing your job. And I think as you get older, you kind of learn how to tune those out. And so that would be like one of the biggest things that I noticed coming into the league really young was that I had a lot of distractions early and I've been constantly fighting to get rid of those.
Which you don't just learn overnight.
No, nobody does. It's not, you kind of learn as you go, and that's, you learn about a lot about yourself, which is always beneficial, but also like you learn on how to prepare and how to, how to be a good teammate and how to treat people. I mean, that's everything comes along with it.
When you first came up to the big leagues, who are some of the guys that left an impression on you, on your team, that took you under their wing and kind of showed you the ropes?
This guy named Tom Murphy, he's a backup catcher for the San Francisco Giants now. One of my best friends in the game, and anyone that knows Tom knows how unbelievable of not only human but a teammate, father, and a friend. he was always what I love and appreciate about Tom is Tom always told me what I needed to hear. He never told me what I wanted to hear, and he always had my back, and he always respected me and treated me like a man the second I got there. And that was something that I appreciated more than probably he will ever know, but also motivated me to at some point, I'm not quite there yet, but at some point I am going to be that guy where I'm the older guy and a younger kid's going to come into the clubhouse, and I'm going to remember what it was like when I had Tom Murphy put me under his wing and treat me like a man. And that's what I appreciated.
Well, and when somebody does that, not only does it help you, that shows they really care about you,
No doubt.
really invested in you, not just in your career, but as a person too, right?
Yeah.
It's great to have guys like that, and I think that's the cool thing about coming to Atlanta for you is that there's going to be a lot of people who care about you and want you to do well, and not just between the lines, but off the field and in the clubhouse as well. And that's the kind of culture I'm sure that you've gathered in your short time being here this spring.
For sure. Yeah, no, the clubhouse here is definitely something special, and I feel pretty blessed to be able to experience it every day, and learn, and just to be a part of it is truly it's truly fun.
With the whole season out in front of you, and this might be something that you don't even do yet in your career. I'm always curious as to how players in the offseason visualize the upcoming season when it comes to goals. Are there individual goals? Is it just health? And if you're healthy, the numbers will be there. Are they just team goals? How do you view that for yourself and how you impact the team?
Well, I think the main goal is to win the World Series, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think that that's everyone in the building's goal, and you can you feel that when you walk in the building. It's really fun. Um, so that's going to be priority number one. And the only way that we're going to be able to accomplish that is by you have 26 guys on a roster, and you have 26 guys hungry to just be better at what they do every single day and focusing on putting one foot in front of the other instead of the finish line. We have 26 guys that do that. I think we're gonna be in great shape.
Yeah.
Me personally, I mean, I think there's a lot of individual things that I have, personal goals and stuff like that. But I would say the biggest thing is just consistency. Like my biggest goal is to be as the most consistent, not only baseball player, but person I can be every day. Because at the end of the day, whether you're a baseball player, a cop, a teacher, it doesn't matter what, people respect consistency. And so I want to make sure that I do a better job of being more consistent, and that's in everything, whether it's, like I said, at the plate, whether it's listening, whether it's, you know, talking to somebody and like helping somebody. I just want people to know that what they're gonna get when they, deal with me, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
That's like the number one thing for me.
And I bet you've discovered that those two things kind of go hand in hand. If you're consistent as a person, I'd imagine that would kind of, you'd carry that onto the field as well with consistency, with numbers and things like that on the field.
I think the only way that you get uh consistent results is by consistent actions and consistent movements. And so if your body isn't moving consistently, or you're not taking care of your body consistently, you can't complain when your results aren't consistent. And so like I said, I'll say it again, like my goal is to just be as consistent as I can be every single day in every phase of my life, and I think I'll be super happy with who I am and what I do.
Absolutely. Off season, how do you go about preparing for a new season? What's your routine like in the gym, and when do you start really ramping up baseball activity for a brand new
So I usually at the end of the season I take about a month off of not doing anything. I'm just deer hunting day and night. Like, well, not night, but afternoons, I guess.
year? Yeah.
I spend a lot of time doing that. And then once that month is up, I start getting back into the weight room and start moving around, start pacing myself to get ready to for spring training. And then I usually don't start swinging until about the new year, and I'll start swinging, 3, 4 times a week. But it's a lot of just repetition stuff, working on staying inside the baseball, hitting the ball the other way, and just really getting everything that has some rust on it from the year before, getting
Mm-hmm.
all that off.
Tell me about your swing and how it's evolved over the years, and what have you really learned to work on?
I would say the biggest thing is that I've learned is how to stay inside the baseball, and I've learned um, what it feels like to really compress a baseball to get like carry on the ball. I'm a golfer, and so if you think of like a hitting a cut shot, that means like you're gonna swipe across the ball, and this ball's gonna spin sideways, and so it's gonna fade and it's gonna reduce the distance.
Right?
Versus if you hit it flush, the ball is gonna go further. Like you may hit it harder, but the ball's got side spin. It's not going to go as farther than a ball that isn't hit as hard, but it's got true spin. It's going to just carry naturally. And so the biggest thing is understanding when I'm in the cage of what I need to do and where I need to be to allow that to happen and give myself the best chance to do that.
Yeah. And you do that in the cage, you're gonna be able to take that into the game.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a tougher game to be consistent in than this one.
no doubt, especially when you play every day,
Yeah.
because like everything's not the same. Like basketball, the court's the same, the
Temperatures are the same.
temperature the same. The hoops are all at 10 feet, right?
Right?
And in tennis, it's the same thing. And in baseball, the stadium's different, the weather's different, pitcher's different, what they throw is different, how hard they throw is different speeds. There's a lot of different things that the travel, playing every single day, like your
Right.
body's never gonna feel the
You're never
same.
100%.
No. And so you're fighting against a lot of inconsistencies to be consistent. And I think the best players in the game are the ones that can do that though.
Yeah. And as far as your love of the game, playing the game, did that come from your parents, somebody else? How did that come about?
My dad played baseball through high school and college, and so I was kind of just around the game a lot,
Yeah.
and I just really had fun made a lot of good memories playing with guys throughout the summer, and it was just something that was what I fell in love with.
If there was something else you're going to have to do for a career, what's Jared Kelenic doing?
Well, I think two things. One, I would be like a farmer, like land management stuff.
Yeah.
That's something I really enjoy. Or I would try and go be like a Navy SEAL or something like that.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, I would. I would love to do that.
You ever got to meet any of those guys?
Nope, I want to though. I have spoken to a few of like people that I know that have some connections, and I want to kind of get introduced into that a little bit, and
Yeah.
get to meet them.
Well, and the thing that resonates with me, you're talking about consistency, hard work, that kind of thing. I mean, the same principles,
Right.
with
Well, and
succeeding.
the thing, what fascinates me about Navy SEALs is the amount of trash that they have to go through.
Yeah.
They are able to put emotions aside and make logical decisions and not let their emotions make the decisions for them. Because when you do that in that industry, you're dead,
Right.
right?
Right.
And what I find so fascinating is that they are fully capable of removing that and making logical decisions, and that is something that I feel like everybody could get better at.
Yes. Learning how to compartmentalize.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about land management and things like that. Going back to your first answer, do you own a bunch of land?
I own a farm up in Wisconsin, not too far from where I grew up.
Okay.
But it's a farm like for really hunting purposes, but we do grow some crops on it.
Oh, nice. What do you grow?
There's like 10 acres in the front for soybeans and corn, stuff like that.
Right.
And then we plant a lot of other stuff for food plots like clover, different brassica stuff like radishes and everything.
Right.
And that like helps the deer herd just have more to eat, stuff like that. I have a ton of ponds and stuff on it, so there's plenty of water.
Yeah. And how many guys do you have hunt up with you during the
Just
season, off
well,
season?
it's me, my dad, my brother, then a couple of my friends will come out occasionally. But I'm looking to possibly get a new farm that's a little bit bigger so I can have more of my friends come out.
Yeah. All right. Clearly, you're the best baseball player in the family, or you're the best hunter in the family.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, I've shot a few deer the last couple of years. Um, I've also probably had the most time. So that
Yeah.
I mean, hunting is tough because there's a lot of things that we gotta pay attention to, like the weather, the wind, the food, the water. You know, you're going into an animal's habitat. Like it's not where people are supposed to be.
Right.
You have to really put in the hours and you have to like calculate and learn a lot of what's going on.
Thank you so much for doing it. It's great to have you in Atlanta. We're thrilled to have you here. And thanks so much for riding with us,
Yeah,
Jared.
you got it.
Absolutely. Jared Kelenic on Riding with the Braves.